How's it going, everyone? And welcome to another episode of Two Nerds a Podcast. I'm Buddy the Bruiser.
And I'm Dynamite Jarrod Latchy.
Double fucking digits. Episode 10. How's it feel, Jarrod?
10th episode anniversary. Doesn't feel like shit, honestly.
Doesn't feel like shit, no.
10 episodes and probably a combined 5 views on YouTube.
Combined.
For all of them.
5.
Yeah.
Approximately probably like 12 hours of us talking, 5 views for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Jarrod's got his phone on full volume, as I see, as per usual.
I'm being informed of a lazy boy at Goodwill for $20.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Couch or chair?
Chair.
Chair?
Yeah.
Yeah. Should really tie the room together. So,
yeah, I have enough chairs, but whatever.
So I just want to say thank you for everyone who checked out our podcast last week. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you're notified first when our podcasts come out. And give this video a like if you enjoy listening to us talk. This week, our first episode of Lost on VHS came out.
Yeah, Death Row Diner.
Death Row, that was a hell of a film. Check out our review of Death Row Diner, but real fast, I guess. It's quite a interesting story, Jarrod. Why don't you tell them a little bit about the plot of this film here?
About Death Row Diner. So Death Row Diner is the shot on video story of Otis Wilcox, famed movie producer. You guys probably know of him.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, Otis Wilcox. He's fucking bigger than Spielberg.
He's refused to work with Spielberg,
Well,
and Coppola because he's too fat.
Coppola's too fat, and Spielberg stole his idea about E.T. Otis Wilcox was an innovator. He was electrocuted. They put him in the electric chair
for the murder of
his wife, which he did not commit.
He did not commit.
By the way, it's since been proven.
It has since been proven
that he
scientific
was not,
evidence.
Yeah, well, forensic evidence has come so far since the
40s.
The 40s. And so it's been since proven that he had no part in the murder of his wife. And it's just unfortunate that we lost him. But
so young, so beautiful.
Yeah, but
luckily for us,
Death Row Diner is about his return to life, which happened in the 1980s. As we know, it didn't last very long. Reanimated corpses don't stick around for very long. But his resurrection lasted about an hour and a half, and Death Row Diner kind of covers
his journey coming back to life.
Yeah.
It's a very heartwarming drama of coming to terms with reality.
How this movie's only on VHS, I'll never know. It's a masterpiece about one of cinema's greatest icons.
Yeah.
And you guys should go check out our review, and if you can, I believe it's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube, yes.
You can go watch Death
channel.
Row Diner on YouTube.
Oh, I believe the whole movie might be on
Usually
YouTube.
Now all these shitty movies that are only on VHS, which Death Row Diner is only on VHS, but it's not a shitty movie. Usually you can catch them on YouTube now. People don't really care anymore.
I know for sure that the movie we are doing next week, which comes out on Thursday, is uploaded on YouTube, but you'll have to wait until Thursday to see what we're talking about. So yeah, Jarrod, what's been going on this week in your life? What's any exciting stuff? I heard you got some new tapes and whatnot, some more memorabilia.
Yeah. I'm exhausted. I've been working. We've been shooting for Lost on VHS whenever we can. And I've been doing my 31 Days of Horror Cocktober reviews. And this week I've watched... Oh, hell, what have I watched? Freaking Blood Rage, which is an old 80s slasher that just recently came out on Blu-ray last year. And it had like a limited DVD release but it was out of print. So it was really hard to get a hold of until last year. But Blood Rage, man, it's really not coming to me right now.
I know one that we watched together, and it was a hell of a film, The Last Slumber Party.
Oh yeah, the last slumber party. That was that was something. I watched the Crystal Force.
We watched Crystal Force together. I
That
recall.
was something too. Both of those movies were trash. Um,
Yeah, Last Slumber Party was pretty hilarious.
Last Slumber
It was pretty
Party.
good. I would watch it again, maybe.
I'd
But
watch
but
Last Slumber Party again
but
with
Crystal Force.
people.
Oh, with people for sure.
Yeah,
Preferably
I would
people.
never. Last Slumber Party is one of those movies that like you would never just like.
Watch it by yourself.
All right, I'm looking for a fucking good ass movie to watch right now, and then you go grab the Last Slumber Party because you really want to get into it. No, that's
That's something you want to watch with your friends, preferably your friends who drink, so you can make them do a drinking game.
yeah. There's
Have them drink every time there's
plenty
heavy
of
metal music.
stipulations that
Plenty
you
of
can
stipulations.
that you can get for Last Slumber Party. Oh man, what else have I watched? Deadly Possession.
Deadly Possession. I have not seen that one. I'll have to read your review about it.
I think that's only on VHS. Deadly Possession. Man. Yesterday I watched The Tempter.
The Tempter.
Yeah, and that's like an Exorcist ripoff, kind of mixed in with a little bit of Rosemary's Baby, and it's like surprisingly shocking for being a '70s movie.
Would recommend.
Yeah, I'd say check it out, especially if you're into possession movies and stuff. I know that there's a lot of people out there now that like possession movies and like exorcism movies because of there's been like kind of a resurgence in popularity for them, or at least there was a couple years ago with like Exorcism of Emily Rose and stuff
every
like
week.
that, and
Like every week at work or like every couple weeks, we get a new movie at Family Video, like some independent movie. It's like The Exorcism of, and it
yeah,
would just be another random name or
yeah,
something.
and there's one on Netflix that I know that people watch, The Taking of some chick.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the literal name of the movie is the Taking of some chick. And so if you're into those movies, first off, everyone's seen The Exorcist, but if you haven't for some reason, because
Go do it.
it
'Cause you're
took me a
fucking
long
high.
ass time
It
to
did.
watch it, but when I did, I believe I gave it five out of five because that movie's amazing. So make sure you go watch The Exorcist first.
See The Exorcist. Avoid Exorcist 2 unless you're looking for a good laugh because it's not really a horror film. Exorcist 3, in my opinion, is pretty underrated. Kind of like Psycho 2, how you don't know how there could be a good sequel to something like that, but there surprisingly is a good sequel. So
Psycho
yeah.
2, I feel like the people that have seen it understand how good it is. But I feel also like a lot of people avoid it because it's Psycho 2.
Right.
And it's like, how could you possibly make a good sequel to Psycho?
Yeah.
One of the greatest films of all time, or definitely one of the greatest horror films of all time. And so,
I mean, don't get me wrong. Stay away from Psycho 3 and 4, but Psycho 2, I would say give it a watch.
I'm such a huge fan of the franchise that I own all of them, and I watch all of them, and in one way or another, I appreciate all of them. But I will admit that Psycho 3 and 4 are absolute garbage. Those movies are terrible, but I have an appreciation for them. I'll probably never watch them again, but they'll always have like a spot in my heart just for being Psycho, just for having Anthony Perkins in there playing Norman Bates.
Yeah.
Bates Motel's great though.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it's a good show. So any Psycho fans that have not got started on Bates Motel, give that a watch. But yeah, so I've been doing those reviews. It's been going pretty good thus far. I've watched a couple movies that were really bad, but a couple movies that were pretty good. Blood Rage was a standout. That's the best movie I've watched yet this month. 3.5, and that's a really entertaining slasher movie.
Really entertaining slasher.
The Tempter is like maybe not so much entertaining until like the second half because it's kind of got a little bit of a slow build, but there the scenes in it that like stand out, like really stand. There was like some stuff that happened in that movie that I was just like, wow. And I don't typically kind of have to like pick my jaw up off the floor when I'm watching horror movies because I feel like I've seen it all at this point.
Right.
But then I saw The Tempter, and a movie from 1974 showed me that I hadn't seen it all yet. So that, that one's worth a watch, even if it's not the greatest movie ever. There's some stuff in there that you're gonna remember for a long time. So I don't want to say any of it
Right.
because I want people to go see
Is it
it.
on YouTube? The Tempter, maybe.
Mm,
Is it lost on VHS?
no, it's not lost on VHS.
So you
It's
might not be.
also known as The Antichrist from 1974.
Not to be confused with the Willem Dafoe film
No,
where you see his
no.
dick.
Did we talk about that?
No. We should, in hindsight, we should have talked about
Someone was
Antichrist.
talking to me about Antichrist recently, and like they were describing it like, dude, it's so terrible.
It was
And,
probably
like,
Ricky, because I'm pretty sure
no,
Ricky and
it wasn't Ricky. It was somebody that was literally just kind of just telling me to avoid it, but everything they said about it made me want to watch it.
have you seen it?
No.
I have it. You might have to watch it someday.
Not someday soon because my slate is pretty full
Yeah.
right now. I have to show I have to watch all these movies and then I have to show my girlfriend like all the classics. She hasn't seen any of them yet.
Yeah.
And so like that's kind of we haven't even started. I have my Blu-rays in her room that is just like Evil Dead trilogy, Halloween, Friday the 13th. I got to bring like Reanimator in there and stuff and Nightmare on Elm Street. She just recently saw Psycho for the first time.
Yeah.
So I have to watch all these movies again too. So my slate's pretty full this month. Plus I have to do all the we have 2 more movies that we still have yet to watch for Lost on VHS.
Lost on VHS, so
So I'm watching movies this month.
yeah.
And I'm going to take a break from horror movies after October's over, as I usually do.
Understandably. Yeah.
And we need to still go see The Blair Witch.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, is it still in theaters, do you think? Came out like early
I'm
September,
sure
right?
it's still in like... No, it came out in like late September.
Oh, really?
Thought. Yeah. It's only been out for a couple of weeks. And I bet if we go to Menor, it'll still be there.
Yeah, it might still be out. So yeah. Did you I know that you've got a Laserdisc player recently. Did you get any other rare tapes or rare memorabilia in your travels?
No new laser discs. Which, like, is... It's shitty. I'm gonna have to start collecting these fucking things now too. I already have my eye on a couple of them. The Japanese Halloween laser disc is pretty sweet looking. I kind of want to get into just collecting a lot of Japanese laser discs. I don't know why, just because like I'm like really into like Japanese Japanese like anime and culture and movies and stuff, and I don't really own enough like actual Japanese memorabilia, and like I think just things look so much cooler when they have like that kanji on it and stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes the cover for a Japanese release will be way cooler than
The movie itself.
than the English cover.
Well, yeah.
But that's like a lot of the time in like VHS. So most of the time I've been seeing for laser discs, the Japanese covers are pretty much the same as the American cover, but with like the cool like kanji and stuff on there. But the Halloween cover is different. The Halloween cover is a shot of Michael Myers coming down the stairs, and then then it says Halloween in Japanese underneath it, and so like that's pretty cool, and it's like a different cover that you don't see. I don't even think that there's really a poster of that shot, so I really want to grab that. The RoboCop 3 Japanese Laserdisc looks really cool. It's got RoboCop with like the stupid fucking jetpack thing on and like the Gatling arm, and then I think there's probably like a car on fire in the background, and I can't tell. I haven't looked at it close enough. I can't tell if it's airbrush or if it's like a promo picture from the thing. If it's airbrush, it's really fucking good. But let's see here. Evil Dead Japanese Laserdisc is pretty cool. It's got the shot of Ash holding the chainsaw with like the girl
Yeah.
behind him. That's a common picture, but still, I've been kind of looking at those. And then there's just a couple of laser discs that I want to pick up. I want to pick up like the entire Psycho franchise and get that on there. I don't know if you know this, but like I have all four Psychos on VHS, and then I have the first three on DVD. I still need to pick up the fourth one on DVD, and then I need to get them all on Blu-ray.
And now all on Laserdisc.
And now hopefully on Laserdisc soon too. But like so, like Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Evil Dead, I have all three on Blu-ray, all three on DVD, all three on VHS.
Yeah. And now
And
Laserdisc is
so
all you need to
I gotta
accomplish.
add the laser discs to it, and then maybe one day I'll end up buying them all on Betamax, and
Who knows?
yeah.
Are you gonna pick up the series? I think season 1's on DVD.
Season 1 is out on DVD and Blu-ray. Hopefully, someone out there will
Puts
be
it on
getting me
VHS.
that for my birthday, getting me that Blu-ray so I can round out my collection. I also have the new Evil Dead on Blu-ray as well.
Yeah.
I don't have that one on DVD because there's no point.
There's no point to buy DVDs anymore.
Well,
in this day and
so
age, really.
the thing with my Evil Dead Blu-rays and DVDs is that they all have different commentary tracks from each other, and that's like a thing for me. I actually listen to commentary tracks. I'm sure you do too.
Every now and then, not as much as you'd think I would.
I used to listen. I used to go to bed listening to them, but I don't as much anymore. And I'd like to get back into it because they're really informative and cool sometimes. Evil Dead had some really cool commentary tracks because, well, there's, especially the first two, because so much stuff happens in that movie and there's so many like special effects and like weird camera shots and everything in those movies. It's such a crazy movie that there's so many stories that they tell, and like in so many different like ways that they made things happen in that movie that is just really interesting and fascinating to me. So
How'd they do all the moving camera stuff back then?
it was on a dolly.
Even in Evil Dead 2 when it goes through the window and stuff.
They had, oh man, it was like a breakaway window that they had like kind of, I can't remember. They explain it, and I know that it's like a breakaway window. They literally just fucking threw a camera through.
Jesus.
It was like a dolly and all. I'm pretty sure, or maybe they might have had the swung a camera on a string. I can't remember, but they did something fucking stupid with it. That's for sure.
I'm gonna have to check out that commentary.
Yeah,
track.
there's a lot of stuff then like, and you could definitely put some of it to use too.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
like Sam Raimi was really fucking using his imagination when he came up with some of the stuff that they did, or some of the filming techniques that they did for that movie. So,
All right,
anyways,
I'm gonna ask you a question.
all right,
Which is your favorite of the Evil Dead franchise?
Evil Dead 2.
Thank you.
Without a doubt, it's Evil Dead 2.
Everyone I ask says Army of Darkness, and I'm like Evil Dead 2 all the way.
Evil Dead 2 is the perfect marriage
Of horror
the
and
first
comedy.
of the first Evil Dead, which is more predominantly horror, but it's still a comedy.
Yeah.
Like, don't like anyone that thinks that the first Evil Dead doesn't have any comedy in it is just absolutely ridiculous. And there's some people that believe that the comedy's in it, but it's unintentional. You listen
No.
to these
Yeah.
commentary
Yeah.
tracks,
Like-
man, and just like everything that's in this movie that you're laughing at, Sam Raimi did it on purpose. Like, this guy loves like Three Stooges like so much, and like everything that, like, every time that Bruce Campbell gets thrown against something, or the scene where the eyeball like pops out of the head and goes, that might be in Evil Dead
That's
2
Evil
actually.
Dead 2.
But like he like says it all. He's like, yeah, like this is directly from Three Stooges. Like, he just took like shots directly from Three Stooges. So just like all the stuff that that's in that's like kind of funny, like he knows it's funny. He like shot it that way. But Evil Dead 2 is just the perfect marriage of horror and comedy. I remember the first time that I watched Evil Dead 2, and a lot of people don't give the movie enough credit for like how horror it still actually
Yeah.
is. Like within the like there's the comedy there for sure, but man, there's some like really tense like
Yeah. Like
jumpy
there's
moments in that movie. The first one I watched was Evil Dead 2. So maybe that has a little bit of bias for me
that was
too.
also the first one I watched because Ricky was like, "Don't even bother with the first one," so we just watched Evil Dead 2. So
I just come on, man. Like
he's like, "The first one doesn't matter.
I
They
mean,
remake it in the first 10 minutes." Or so.
it's true,
Yeah,
but it's
that
still
is
worth
true.
a fucking watch.
Yeah.
Like
I've seen it since then.
I still
but
love the first
yeah,
Evil
the first
Dead.
one's
Like
good.
I love all three of them. Like that's one of my favorite franchises of all time. Um, and I'm pretty sure that all three of them end up in like my top 50 movies at some place.
which you can see on his letterbox.
Like I'm not sure if I'm at 50 or not yet,
50.
but I know that Evil Dead 2 is in my top 10.
For sure.
Yeah,
Me as
I'm
well.
pretty sure Evil Dead 1 is like in my top 20 somewhere. So like, if not, it's definitely in the top 30. But I'm pretty sure it's top 20. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, there was like when I first watched that movie, man, I was like on the edge of my seat, and there was a couple of scenes that really made me jump, and like just really high tension, like just some scary stuff in that movie. And I don't know, I Evil Dead 2 is the best one.
Evil Dead 2 is the best one.
Evil Dead
for
1, unsurprisingly, is Miles' favorite in the entire franchise. Shocking that Miles would
Right.
have such a strange opinion.
Yeah, because it's usually 2 or the third one.
I mean,
so.
like, let's face it, I love Evil Dead 1, but let's just take Evil Dead 1. Evil Dead 2 took Evil Dead 1 and literally just made it better.
Yeah.
It's literally just a better version of Evil Dead 1, in my opinion. And so, not just in my opinion, literally
It's a scientific fact.
the
It's Evil
effects
Dead-
are better. The just like the budget's bigger. It's
Yeah.
just like it's I don't know. It's just
It's just way better. Just everything about it. You can't put it into words.
I can freak out about Evil Dead all day, but I'm such a mark for it, and
Army of Darkness is one of the movies that I introduced my roommates to for Monster Madness, which they weren't into, which I can understand not being into it. But yeah, a lot of people really like Army of Darkness as well.
Army of Darkness is great. I remember going in kind of skeptical because people that I'd talked to were very much like horror message board people.
Right.
And so like but for some reason it seems like since I've watched it, the opinion on Army of Darkness from people I've talked to has just been raised.
Really?
Since I watched it. But going
So
in, I
at
was hearing
first-
bad things.
Really?
That was just like, yeah, Army of Darkness kind of sucks, blah, 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 whatever. That I
Well,
watched
it's not
it.
really horror.
Yeah, it's like an
It's-
action adventure. But I watched it and I was like, damn, this movie's great. This movie's amazing. But and then since I've watched it, I haven't heard a bad thing about it since.
Well, there you go.
Horror community has loved it ever since. Just movie watching community likes it. Just everyone likes Army of Darkness.
What did you think of the remake?
I like it. I really like the remake. The one thing that I miss in the remake is that there's no comedy.
Not at all.
It's like as serious as a movie can be. Which,
Except for the post-credit scene with,
well, yeah.
but that doesn't really count.
The thing that sucks about that is that it was really just probably like a studio decision, because horror comedies like aren't like really well received by the general public anymore. I remember Cabin in the Woods, which was like fucking phenomenal. That's like one of the best horror comedies to come out in a long time.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't like it.
A lot of people
it's
didn't.
really mixed. Like
I never heard to this day I've never heard anyone say Cabin in the Woods is okay. It's either they hated it or they loved it.
yeah, there's no like down the middle, and it seems to me like the people that don't like it are the really casual horror fans that like go into it expecting something
Yeah, they expect
truly
it.
scary.
And if you haven't seen it, we won't spoil it for you. But a lot of people go into it thinking they're getting the typical cabin in the woods type of story,
Yeah,
which this is not.
yeah.
So,
I I had a bone to pick with the marketing for that movie for that
well, they
because
marketed it that way
oh man,
intentionally.
they
Yeah,
marketed it as like a straight up horror movie. So even going in, I was kind of expecting
right. Me as well.
like just like a straight up horror movie, but was very pleasantly surprised
The
with
first
what
time
I
I
got.
the first time I saw it, I wasn't into it. It wasn't until the second time I watched it. I was like, all right, well, maybe I didn't give it as much of a chance, and now I really love it.
Who made
So
you rewatch it? The fucking nerd?
I made myself rewatch it, because I saw it in theaters, and then when it came out on like DVD, I was like, all right, I'll watch it again, just because I heard everyone saying how amazing it was, and I was like, oh, I didn't think it was that great, but
How fun is it? Chris Hemsworth or his brother that
it's
rides the motorcycle into the force field in that movie?
it's whichever one's Thor. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
That's one of the funniest scenes ever. Me and Miles saw that in theaters. We were literally fucking crying when that happened. I just fucking exploded in laughter. I'm just picturing it in my head right now. It makes me want to laugh, but yeah. So horror movies, man.
Horror movies, they're good shit.
Cocktober is a great time to watch horror movies. It's also a great time to check out guys, man.
This is a great time to check out, guys.
Yeah,
We'll get to that a little bit later. We got to talk No Mercies this weekend, dude.
it is.
We got to talk.
and you're gonna have
First,
to.
did you see any highlights of Raw this week?
Man, I have not read about Raw. I have not watched Raw. I have no idea what happened on Raw.
Nothing too much to take away from it other than the title changed from Sasha, well, to Sasha from
Okay, yeah,
from
yeah. I
Charlotte.
actually did hear about that.
And Chris Jericho cut another hilarious segment with the list of Jericho, which is my favorite part of Raw. Whenever he busts that shit out, so fucking we could cut a whole podcast probably just me fucking sucking Chris Jericho's dick.
He's been on fire lately. Did you see that video clip someone made with the Friends theme song? But it says best friends, and it's just like
it's just
a compilation of Jericho and Owens
Yeah.
like hanging out, also starring Mick Foley, Stephanie McMahon, and Sami Zayn.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh,
But yeah. Then on SmackDown this week, they're just really hyping up the Ziggler retiring thing, potentially, and the feud between Cena, Styles, and Dean Ambrose. So nothing too noteworthy there. But yeah, No Mercy is this weekend. Jared, do you have any? I'll pull up the card here and we'll see if we have any predictions here. But just
All right.
any thoughts about what's going on at all, or
no thoughts. I say AJ's going over. It's basically my only thought going into the pay-per-view. And I hope that The Miz goes over and retains the Intercontinental title. Not so much that I want to see Dolph retire or leave, but I just don't
there
want the Miz to...
there have been several rumors that Dolph is slated to lose. And there's two like conflicting stories that are going on in like the wrestling community. One is that he's just taking some time off and he's going to come back with a new gimmick, apparently,
Okay.
which is possible. So I guess Dolph Ziggler is retiring because it's going to be something different, or that he's retiring to do stand-up comedy. So that's the second option. But they have claimed, because they said he's been meeting with agents and stuff to set up this stand-up comedy thing, but that all could just be a work to make people think that he's losing.
Yeah.
So no one knows.
Is he even good?
As a stand-up comic,
Yeah.
I've never heard his stuff. I don't know if he's done it before.
Huh.
I mean, I've heard his promos, which have some humor occasionally.
I know that he's done it because I've seen him like on the network kind of doing it. Like he talks about it. I've seen him on stages doing it.
I have not seen it. Have you?
I've never heard his stuff.
Oh, you've never heard it. You've just heard of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. The first match.
Can we get some music?
some music?
Just a little bit of background music.
Just a little bit of background music
for these like. You put it in post. Just
do some magic.
Just do some. Actually, you know what? We'll do some. We'll be quiet for this. Let's do some like gay porno music for
Cocktober.
For Cocktober.
I'll see what I can do. You'll figure out when you listen to this, Jarrod.
Sexy saxophone
we'll
music.
See.
You think I listen to this trash?
Yeah.
Come on. Who do you think I am? Fucking Robert Lincoln?
Goddamn. So, Kurt Hawkins is versing.
Kurt Hawkins is back?
Kurt Hawkins is versing a to be determined opponent. So we don't know who it is. It could be some sort of return from someone.
Goldberg. No.
I'll bring that up a little bit later because there's some more wrestling news about Goldberg.
Rumors, yeah.
Rumors. Just so the viewers who care about this shit, if they don't know about it, they'll know about it in a little bit. So Kurt Hawkins versus a mystery opponent.
Mystery opponent goes over.
Really?
Yeah.
Even if it's James Ellsworth, who apparently has been signed on to do the Royal Rumble match.
Hell yeah.
As a side note.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so Nikki Bella versus Carmella. I say Carmella.
What's that for the women's title?
No, it's just
I say Nikki Bella.
All right, so conflicting.
Brie's pregnant.
We'll Brie is pregnant. That's more wrestling news. There's gonna be a little Brian baby running around.
I saw that. I'm actually legitimately happy for Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. He's fucking...
But what was I gonna say? I saw an article just before we started about Brie Bella saying that being pregnant has kicked her ass, even though she's probably not even 3 months pregnant yet, and she's definitely not showing anything yet.
I know they released some pretty funny looking photos. Did you see that photo of them both wearing like the white sweaters? They released like the baby photos. It's very silly. But anyway, no, she's not showing at all.
Yeah, so I don't know what the fuck Brie Bella's talking about, but let's wait till you're like 7 or 8 months pregnant before you start saying pregnancy's kicking your ass, young lady.
Yeah.
I'm sticking up for all the pregnant ladies out there that know what this shit's really about. I know, not from experience, that Brie Bella hasn't felt shit yet.
Oh, for sure, not yet.
But anyways, Brie Bella, Daniel Bryan, really happy.
Congrats, guys.
Yeah, congratulations. I know you guys listen to
this pretty regularly.
To the Two Nerds podcast. Love our wrestling commentary. Both big fans of the industry and love our take on the business. So once again, congratulations. Another shout out to Stephanie and Elena out there too. Thanks for listening to us. We know you're out there listening, so thank you. You're one of two people that listen. You're each one of two people that actually listen to the podcast. So
yeah. The next match is Randy Orton versus Bray. This is basically a must-win for Bray Wyatt because he's been a joke for about a year. I don't know who you think's going over in this one.
I don't know, and I don't care. This is how much I don't care about this feud. If I had to guess, I would say Bray Wyatt. But there's rumors that Randy Orton is next in line for a shot at AJ Styles. So Orton?
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, I haven't been too invested in this feud either. I found it kind of weird actually, leading up to this. So yeah, the next is Miz versus Dolph Ziggler, and we're both pulling for Miz, I guess. We both are saying he's probably gonna win.
Yeah, Miz.
Slater and Rhino versus the Usos.
Slater and Rhino.
Yeah.
No, maybe not.
This one I'm not really sure.
Usos. I say Usos take it, and then in 2 months' time are feuding with American Alpha.
Well, they've already been feuding with them, kinda.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think. I don't know. I probably have to go Usos too because I don't really see the Slater Rhino tag team holding up for too much longer. It was just kind of a novelty
like a
thing.
Fun novelty thing for a second, but
yeah,
whatever.
Um, Becky versus Alexa Bliss for the title.
Becky.
Becky?
Move on.
Okay. And then we both are saying Styles is winning the main event.
So I'm saying Dean takes the attitude adjustment from Cena. Styles comes in, possible low blow to Cena, and steals the cover to win the match.
Yeah, I would probably say it's definitely not.
It's not going to be.
It's not clean at all.
Yeah, it's not going to be pretty. But by hook or by crook, AJ Styles, still WWE champion, and I say WWE champion for the foreseeable future. Hopefully through WrestleMania.
Hopefully.
That'd be a good story to tell, is have AJ keep winning these matches by cheating through WrestleMania. He's retained the belt for so long, and then by that time have a great babyface challenger built up
To take him on.
to take the title from him at Mania. Who that challenger is, I have no fucking idea, but we'll see.
So yeah, that's really all that went on this week in wrestling.
Not really.
It has been rumored.
Did you hear about Seth Rollins? Had an autograph signing in Chile that like turned into a fucking riot.
I have not heard
and he
this.
had to be like escorted
Nah,
out of there.
I have not heard this.
Yeah, he was at a mall in Chile, and he was only there for like 10 minutes before the crowd got like way too out of hand. He had to leave, and then it turned into a riot where they started like looting the mall.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I did not hear that. That's very weird. Did that
Yeah.
happen today?
That was yesterday, I
Yesterday?
believe. Yesterday or the day before. Yeah, that happened. That's a
but-
thing.
Kind of going off Jarrod's little Goldberg chance. It has been heavily rumored that we will be seeing a return before Survivor Series, and he'll be facing Brock, obviously, if that happens. I don't know. Do you think this is just heavy speculation, or do you think it's finally happening?
Finally happening. It's happened before, and it was fucking garbage.
No, I mean like finally happening, like the people are gonna stop just like spreading the rumors, and it's actually a thing, is what I mean.
I don't think
Not as if I'm waiting for it to happen.
I don't think the Goldberg rumors are going to stop until the day Goldberg dies. Same goes for Stone Cold. Same goes for just any retired wrestler that had like a high profile run. There's still rumors that Hulk Hogan's going to come back and wrestle one last match.
There's no way.
I know there's no fucking way.
They fucking wiped the slate clean of him. They don't want anything to do with him after the court hearings and whatnot.
The whole fiasco. But I mean, if it happens, it happens. I'm not excited for it, but it might happen. Who cares?
Oh man. So, it is week number 2 of Cocktober. As you guys saw on our Twitter poll, last week was a fucking murder.
Man.
Jarrod got destroyed in the polls last week.
It's true. It's damn true. But this week, I'm looking for a little bit of redemption.
A little bit of redemption. Well, you have second pick this week.
Second pick, but you know what? The playing field is broad, and I have not made my decision yet. I will base it on your decision.
On my decision.
Yes.
Okay. So last week we were
Well,
talking.
hold on. Let's cue the music up. Because it's Cocktober. It's fucking hot in here. All the cock heat in this room right now. And we're talking about some fucking sexy men for those of you that don't know about Cocktober. Sexy ass dudes here in Cocktober. And me and Buddy are talking about them. And we're trying to find out who the hottest guy of all time is.
Are we at the end? Are we gonna put the top picks?
We might talk about the hottest guy of all time.
We might talk about the
We
hottest.
might.
All right. Last week we were talking about. Why are you holding me on? What do you have to say? What's so important?
We have something that we need to plug, but we'll do it after Cocktober, I guess.
Well, what do you need to plug? We
No,
got the
we're-
music playing.
Listen,
what
we
do
are
we have
We're
the
in full
sexiest music of all time playing. What do you need to plug?
I'm sweating.
All right.
No, I'm not gonna plug it during our Cocktober segment. So what we're talking about this week and why I'm confident that I will defeat you this week is because it's something that I know a lot about.
I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that. So last week we were talking about some of the most handsome men with mustaches.
Oh, you're going to continue to rub this in my face.
No, I'm just giving them a little background. Last week we talked about guys with mustaches. Today we are sticking with a hair thing, only it's lack thereof hair.
I got a bone to pick with the Twitter universe right now. Let me tell you something. Freddie Mercury is the greatest frontman of all time. And he's awesome. And he is a sexy man in his own right. But this is about who the sexiest man of all time is. And if you're going to sit here and tell me that Freddie Mercury is sexier than Tom Selleck, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but you don't even know who the fuck Tom Selleck is. That's what the problem with that fucking shit is. He is a man's man. And that's all I have to say about that.
You done being a sore loser?
Listen.
You done? Have you completed complaining? Because we got this sexy ass music playing. We're trying to talk about some dudes, and you're just bitching that Twitter isn't in your favor.
Let's go.
Let's go. Okay, so we're
hottest bald guys.
Hottest bald guy. It can be bald. It can be shaved. Just nothing on top or very little on top. So let's just talk about some of these guys before we get into our pick. Want to ask you about very handsome bald man, George Costanza. What do you think about? What do you think about this guy?
George Costanza.
Because I can't say Jason Alexander because since his days on Seinfeld, he has gotten some sort of transplant where he has hair now.
Has he?
He has. I think he did a whole stand-up run just called Jason Alexander Has Hair. Like,
wow, I actually did not know that. I thought recently. That he was pretty fucking hairless in that like Seinfeld reunion they did.
Well, that was in like 2006. I'm talking like last year. Or maybe like
oh, he just recently got a hair transplant?
This is within the last 5 years. I think I saw him promoting that stand-up run in like 2014-ish.
Okay. By the way, that Seinfeld reunion was not in 2006.
Which one are you talking about?
The Super Bowl one.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, no.
That's what I thought you were talking. No, the Super Bowl ad. I know what you're talking about. It might have been after that, or they might have done something to make his hair gone for
Jason
that.
Alexander. All right, so we're just talking straight George Costanza.
We're talking George Costanza.
All right, so this is a short, overweight, bald man. Definitely one of the sexiest men on the list that we're going to be talking about today. Let's take a... And, I mean, there's got to be something about George Costanza.
That drives the girls wild.
He absolutely overachieves.
He gets laid so much in that show.
He gets laid more than me, without a doubt. He gets laid more than anyone that I know. I think he gets laid more than Jerry does.
I mean, I would assume.
I'd say that George is fucking a different girl, like, every episode. Whereas Jerry is like every 3 or so episodes he's talking to a girl or whatever.
And plus, George was almost married, so he was getting steady action for a while there, probably.
And
even though he didn't like it.
Here's the thing, too. Jerry is generally considered to be the most attractive guy on the show. Kramer appears to be like the most alluring to the women. Like every time they see Kramer, like, for some reason, like he magnetically attracts them. But like George, the girls that he bangs are all like in the same league
as everyone
else is. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. But yeah, George Costanza is definitely worth heavy consideration. Sexiest bald man. I will see your George Costanza and raise you one Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. Oh man. So definitely not in his Friends days. We're talking more current Bruce Willis.
More current Bruce Willis, but still generally considered a very attractive bald man.
Very attractive bald man.
I believe that Rachel would still have dated him if he was bald.
For sure.
In Friends,
yeah. Yeah, Bruce Willis. I don't have much to say about him. Good looking dude. I don't know what to say.
Fucking sexy man.
All right, I got you. I'll take your Bruce Willis and I'll raise you, Dr. Phil.
Son of a bitch! I can't use Bruce Willis now because Dr. Phil is definitely one of the sexiest of all time. Son of a bitch. And you know what? A great mustache man as well.
Great mustache man. I can't believe that passed us up last week.
By the way, we did not mention Ravishing Rick Rude last week.
We did not mention.
Oh my god.
Otherwise known as the WCW Phantom, which we learned the other day. We might have to talk about some Halloween Havoc when we get closer to actual Halloween.
Yeah.
Anyway. Anyway. So.
Well,
Dr. Phil.
Dr.
What
Phil.
do you gotta say?
I gotta say that though Dr. Phil is very attractive, I don't think that Dr. Phil is more attractive than George Costanza, and I don't believe that Dr. Phil has had sex with more women than George Costanza.
What about Gandhi? Has Gandhi had sex with more women than George Costanza?
I don't
Gandhi had sex with that girl with the goiter in that episode of Seinfeld. You know what I'm talking about. He dipped his head in oil and rubbed it all over my body.
Oh man, Gandhi, sex machine. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That was gonna be my next one. Stone Cold.
You know what?
Handsome man.
Legitimately good-looking guy.
Yeah, like no sarcasm there.
I've like never heard like a girl really say that Stone Cold was bad looking.
No, not at all.
He's got them pretty blue eyes.
Yeah, he's just quite the looker, man.
He's quite the looker.
Would you take a stunner?
Come on, man. My pants just
Have you
got a little
ever
bit tighter
taken
thinking about it.
Have you ever taken a stunner from
Yeah,
anyone?
I'm sure I have. Yeah.
I've given a stunner.
I've given several stunners. I delivered a stunner to a kid in like 4th grade who told my crush that I liked her.
God damn.
And so I walked right up to him when we were coming in from recess and delivered a stunner to him. A stunner that he won't soon forget.
Damn, I delivered a stunner to my boy Danny O'Donnell last week because he made me be an extra in this scene, which took place in a ring. So I was like, I'm only coming if I can hit you with a stunner. So he let me do it.
All right, yeah.
So, how about Vern Troyer, otherwise known as Mini Me from the Austin Powers?
Oh,
Sexy bald man. If you're
okay.
into,
If you're into small guys, which if you're into George Costanza, which we all are, he's kind of small. Not a midget, but
definitely not a midget.
But he's definitely not taller than most girls.
True. But Vern Troyer is definitely not taller than all girls.
Yeah, unless it's a midget girl, he might be taller than a couple midget girls.
Or a newborn.
How about just straight up Dr. Evil?
Dr. Evil's a good looking dude. Have to say. How about Colin Mockery from Who's Line?
Oh fuck, Colin. I know that Aubrey would probably have sex with Colin. Me, I gotta stick with my boy Dr. Phil over Colin.
Dr. Phil over Colin.
Yeah, I'd rather have sex with Dr. Phil.
Damn. But still, George Costanza's still your number one in this?
Yeah. So far, I'm sticking George Costanza on this one.
I don't know. Do you have any noteworthy ones?
Oh man, see, you caught me off guard.
Michael Jordan. Jarrod's just gonna fucking leave.
Oh man, I just think I just had an orgasm.
Oh man.
If you guys come into my house ever, you'll see just Michael Jordan's all over the fucking place in my house because I need to look at this man all the time. He's just such a beautiful man. Absolute god amongst men. How about the headbangers, Thrasher and Mosh from wrestling?
I don't know. What do you think? Tell me your sincere opinion.
Stone Cold's better.
Stone Cold's better?
Yeah. Stone Cold. But
how about
Goldberg?
Goldberg. I was gonna say Cesaro, but
Cesaro's a good-looking guy.
Like Cesaro, yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely handsome. He's got that cool like stubble going on. Yeah, Cesaro's good-looking.
Another. Oh, go ahead. You had one. I don't want to cut you off because mine's not serious. So if you have a good one, go ahead.
Phil Collins.
Phil Collins. That's a good one. Phil Collins can get it, especially in that Bone Thugs video, which we'll be talking about a little bit next week. Wink, wink. If you want to tune in.
Phil Collins can get it. Anyways, I know we're talking about this. You'll probably hear some of these names again sometime in Cocktober, but Billy Corgan.
Billy Corgan.
Yeah.
New majority owner of TNA.
He's got that artsy, sexy going on.
You know who else has that? You know who else has the artsy sexy going on? Danny DeVito.
Another short one. You're really into these short guys.
Yeah, short, bald. That's how I like him, dude. I don't know, man. What's your next pick? We gotta at least talk about a couple more before we get into our real picks here. And I have first pick, so I've got a pretty good one saved up.
I have a feeling I know who you're picking.
All right, we'll find out. So,
but I'll go ahead and say Mr. Clean is definitely.
Mr. Clean is definitely a contender.
Definitely a sexy bald man.
Definitely a contender. Trying to think here. Who else do we know? Howie Mandel. How about are you into that? Howie Mandel?
You into that? You fucking into that? How about Vin Diesel, you piece of shit?
Vin Diesel, I mean, good looking dude. Don't know what else to say.
Oh man, I don't think Vin Diesel's that attractive. If we could be honest with each other for a second, I'm not attracted to Vin Diesel at all.
I mean, if we're gonna be honest for a second, I'm not attracted to any of the guys we're talking about. But this is Cocktober, so we need to discuss this.
I think that you're lying.
You think that? All right.
I'm definitely attracted to Stone Cold.
I got you.
And I'm definitely attracted to Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
And I'm definitely attracted to who I think that you're picking. Which pisses me off, if we can be quite honest with each other. I'm definitely attracted to Michael Jordan.
This was a close one for my pick. How about Bernie Sanders?
He's not bald enough.
He's not bald enough.
Doesn't
count.
No,
All right.
No, I'm disqualifying Bernie Sanders.
It's not my pick anyway. Trying to think of some other names here. Do you have any others off the top of your head? I've been contributing all of these. How about Zach Galifianakis from Hangover 2 when he was bald?
I don't like the Hangover movies, man.
I really don't either. I mean, I thought the first one was amusing for what it was,
I didn't even think that one was funny.
I didn't think it. I don't know why it was such a huge hit, but I mean, I thought it was decent. Like, it was amusing, but I don't know. How about I forget his name. I really forget his name. Ben Kingsley? Is that his name? Played Gandhi? You know who I'm talking about?
Oh my god.
You know who I'm talking about? Is that his name?
I don't fucking know his name, but I'm just like... You can't use two Gandhis.
I'm not saying him specifically in Gandhi. I'm just saying in life, because he's been bald for a while.
Okay. Yeah, man, I think that we're at a kind of tail end. I'm sure we'll remember some after we wrap this up, but what's your pick?
My pick? You know my pick. I'm sure you know my pick. My man crush. The most attractive man possibly of all time. My pick is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Son of a bitch! I knew it, and I was just hanging on to it this entire time just to, just so I could use it if you made a mistake.
If I made a terrible
which
I would never have.
If you made a critical error. So now, I have to draw upon some of... I don't like picking from the group that we have, but I could make the surprise pick of Krillin.
You could make...
Which I can't believe you didn't pick. Very short, very bald.
Very short, very bald. That's my type.
That's your type. But I'm stuck between the only two people that in my mind can compete with The Rock, which is Michael Jordan and Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm going to have to pick Stone Cold Steve Austin.
It's a match of the century.
It's these guys went head to head at WrestleMania 3 times. Well, they're gonna go head to head in Cocktober for the first time ever.
For the first live on pay-per-view, live on
bald head to bald head, and little head to little head.
There's no way The Rock's dick isn't at least 2 feet long. There's no fucking way.
The Rock's got a huge cock. He's definitely got the reach advantage on Stone Cold. I'm not going to be shy about it. But I'm hoping that Stone Cold's eyes and badass demeanor can carry him through this one and get me the win this time.
Well, I'm hoping The Rock's charming good looks and
$1 million smile.
$1 million smile are able to bring me the win 2 weeks in a row. So we will see. Surprised you didn't bring up, forget it, Patrick Stewart. Is that his name?
Oh, yeah, well.
Too fucking
he
late.
He can't
now.
really compete against The Rock anyways, so. All right. So that's about all we have for this week, except we were talking about the NE Geek Expo a little bit last week. It is confirmed. We've confirmed, basically. We are doing a panel at the NE Geek Expo. So, for those of you that don't know, the NE Geek Expo is October
22nd.
October 22nd at the Spire Institute in Geneva, Ohio.
From 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Admission is $5. We just paid at the door.
Do we have to pay admission? Are we getting right in?
I would assume, since we are a panel, we are not paying admission. I would assume. But we would have to talk to...
Take that, general public.
We'll have to talk to our supervisors about that, I guess.
Talk to our agents.
Yeah.
Hopefully our agents are good enough to get us those guest passes, but
yeah, it's from 11 to 7. There's a bunch of cool stuff there. You can buy some comic books, some handmade artwork. There's going to be a lot of cosplaying going on.
A lot of vintage toys and stuff, and modern toys, and yeah, definitely cosplay. Cool people.
There's a costume contest, I believe.
Last year they had the artist that drew the Simpsons comic for a good 10 years. He was there, so I mean, they might have a couple cool comic book artists there that you can kind of meet and talk to, and it's just a really cool time. I usually go there every year.
I've gone a couple times. I went to the very first one. I had a booth. I think the third or fourth one where I was promoting Hella Heathridge when that was about to come out. I had a booth to promote the release of that.
We'd like to get a booth to kind of sell some tapes or something, but
from what we hear, they're booked.
They're booked. He said they'll let us know. So if we hear anything back about getting some extra vendor space, bring some money to
buy some tapes.
Buy some tapes. Get into the VHS collecting game. I got some tapes that'll be good starters for you.
Because Jarrod is heavily in debt with these tapes.
I owe so much money. But yeah, so come check us out. NE Geek Expo, October 22nd. We're doing a panel. There's a bunch of other panels, cosplay contest. Come check it all out and come support us. Come support your local geek scene. And make sure that that's the bottom line, because Dynamite Jarrod said so. Vote for Stone Cold Steve Austin. We all know he's the superior superstar.
All right, we'll see.
Anyways, make sure that you, if you guys like this podcast, make sure you give it a like.
Share it with your friends, dog.
Tell your friends.
If you're into this shit and you're like,
Stephanie, Elena, I know you guys got friends. Let them know about this podcast, because our views have been going down, and we'd like to get them back up to that 200. By the way, Ross Lynch, if he ever shaves his head, would have definitely been a contender for this. So but yeah, subscribe. Make sure you go to my blog, rewinderdivehs.blogspot.com, where you can check out all my reviews that I'm doing for 31 Days of Horror. You can check out the reviews that I did the past 2 years for 31 Days of Horror. And then if you really want to see the reviews that I did the years before that, they're on my Facebook. Jarrod Latchy, you can add me on there.
And look in the comments of the trailers to these videos.
Look at the comments of the trailers. But
yeah, and again, check out Lost on VHS and any other videos we put out. They come out every Thursday, and we might have a couple more surprises coming your way. But I actually had one of my lights take a shit on me today, so I got to get some new gear
Oh God,
at
yeah.
some point. So yeah, that's about all we have for this week, right, Jarrod?
That's all, man. Just have a happy, keep having a happy Cocktober, and keep them cocks safe, but not too safe. Always use protection, but not too much protection, because if you double wrap,
Double wrapping is not good.
it's supposedly more prone to breakage.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So anyways, yeah, this is Dynamite Jarrod signing off. I'll see you guys next week.
And this is Buddy the Bruiser signing off. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next week. Take care.